well, I know how they're asking them to leave that area. And Saturday, Sunday, they came and they were supposed to clean up the camping area, but they were supposed to come with resources and vouchers for motel.
Right.
Well, when you're gonna move a camp out and give them a voucher for a motel,
Right.
you would think for a couple of days, not 2 days, you could put them in a motel for 2 days and then have them leave and go where?
Right.
So same situation.
All right.
So how is that resources? That's not a resource, that's not.
Right.
What's
Okay.
their last name?
My name is Rita Acosta. I'm co-president of the Homeless Union.
And can you tell me what you just told me right now, your thoughts, feelings, and position on this?
We're here to give support to the community out there and to the homeless community due to the fact of when our city says that they're gonna give support and resources. You know, they always tell people, we gave them enough time to get ready to leave, but how much time is it you're giving them to go where? They can tell them to leave, but they can't direct them to go anywhere. You know, and two, they said resources, when they got there, nobody was there with resources. There was nobody. So they put together somebody, said they're gonna give them vouchers for a hotel room. Well, so if you're asking the people to leave their comfort zone, where they're at, where they're comfortable, safe, and gonna put them in a motel for 2 days and then have them leave, so how is that resources? That's not resources, that's just displacing them again to come out with nothing. So how is that helping people? You know, they say they gave them enough time to find some place to go. Well, they had enough time to get proper resources out there. They're the city, they knew what they were gonna do, so should they have those things together? Talk to the nonprofits who's supposed to be giving the assistance. Camps didn't grow overnight. They've been there for a while. Why? Why now are they trying to say, we need to get them out of here, when it wasn't before? Because they say they have this, they have that, but when you mismanage your funding and it doesn't go where it's supposed to, how are you gonna do your job right? And a lot of cities are not used to doing their job. So when it comes time to have to doing it.
And so did this group of people come from Monterey County?
Oh, they're from the river, on Pajaro River.
Okay, and then they got displaced there, and then they moved to somewhere in Watsonville, is that correct?
Yes, they were, actually they went there because, you know, they're saying the river's gonna overflow and stuff like that, so to be in a safe place, and to stay together as a group, because it is dangerous when people are separated, so.
So that, and then they came to Watsonville?
Yes.
Okay, and then, so what would you like to see from the city when going about displacing and moving it to areas?
Well, for one, it's a waste of taxpayers' dollars when you keep on spending money to move people out and not direct them to a place to go. If they had a rules area, a rule-run campsite where people can be and take the resources there, they can use it as a transitional housing program at the same time. Instead of keep spending money to sweep over here and sweep over there, and where are they going? To another place, so they're gonna have to clean that out, waste the money and time. And it's a big, it's stressing for people that are displaced due to the fact you have to keep moving, being told that you can't be here. And they forget what, all in all, they are still part of the community. You might be homeless, but why? Because there's not enough resources out here for people. And it's just not single people, there's families out here, there's tons. And it's just not here, it's everywhere. They make it just seem like, oh, they're just coming from all walks of life. Homelessness does not discriminate.
And what do you have to say to their reasoning and their arguments that it's very, there's health issues and health risks and also safety risks happening out there?
Sure there is, and just thinking of that, they're out there having to live that way because our city doesn't have resources for people. So yeah, it's true, but they have them out there like that because they're not controlled of the nonprofits. They don't have control of all the shelters. And if everything's full, where do you want them to go? And that's where I'm here. Places are full because there is a problem everywhere.
And can you talk about how they were offered a voucher for the hotels for 2 days, but can you talk about that?
Okay, yeah, they were offered a motel for 2 days, and not for everybody, for some. So again, 2 days. So when they said that, well, we're going to talk about it, I guess they got upset because it wasn't right there and then. Because they wanted to see who's going to go. And to me, you know, the seniors, elders should be first because they did and are taking care of a lot of seniors there that were refused not services to these nonprofits. So they're doing a service for people that are not being helped in shelters.
Would these people accept the help if they were given it in terms of housing or anything like that?
Well, of course, who wouldn't? People are not out here because they want to be. They're out here because of all different circumstances. Have you ever stayed in a shelter and seen what you have to go through? They bag and tag you like if you're being incarcerated. And two, there's lots of things that go on in there. And if one person's taking the place when a family's going to be in there, you'd rather have the family or one person. I take the family to let them go in. People are not selfish, because everybody thinks about that. When I go with, it's going to take a place where a person with kids can go.
Right.
You know, and there's not enough resources for anybody.
The reason why I asked is because police told me today that they did offer, it was offered temporary housing for them.
Housing?
Temporary.
Or shelter?
Shelter.
So the motel for 2 days, that's not,
No, they were said the hotel was in something different, but they also offered them an area to go.
no,
also.
that's false. They did not offer them a place to go. Because if they did, they'd be there. Because nobody wants to be where they're not wanted. You know, again, too, people don't like to see them out there. Well, they don't want to be out there either. It's dangerous, it's cold. But again, if there's not enough places for people to be, where do you want them to go? Human beings trying to live. They're not cattle. You can't shuffle them around so it looks like you're doing your job. Do your job, saves money. And lives.
So tonight they're going to have a discussion about this, or do you know if there's going to be a decision made, or right now there's the lawsuit, right?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, people need a place to be.
Right.
A city can't just say you can't be here, but you gotta go someplace else. If you want them not to be there, find them a place to be.
Right, and I'm just trying to get the story clear. So there's a lawsuit right now from the side of the people that were going to be displaced, correct?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
for them to have a place to be. It's not, I mean, come on, they have a right to be someplace.
Right, okay. Just trying to follow the story.
Yeah,
Okay, and how long, when was this? This was on Sunday, right?
yes.
Okay,
And a day of rest, a day of rest. They're trying to shuffle people around. But again, like I said, they say they give people enough time to find a place to go. How's that enough time to find a place where to go? And these are city officials. They know what they're doing in advance. So wouldn't you think they would have resources there in advance?
right.
Not say, well, we're getting something together. Come on, you're a professional. You're making decisions for this whole city. And if you can't be on cue where you're saying we're going to have resources and you have to make those calls, they put too much work on the police department because they're not there to really do all this. You know, that's not their job either, to break up these campsites and everything. City needs to make the right decisions for human beings and give them a place to be. If they don't want them here and there, give them a place to be.
Thank you. We will begin with roll call. Oh, how many people intend to speak tonight? Could you raise some hands? I just want to get a beat on the time commitment. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Well, you'll have 2 minutes when you come up. Please state your name. And our job here tonight is to listen to the public. We're not here to have a conversation amongst ourselves or with you about commentary. We're here to listen to what you have to say before we go into closed session. So I'd like to open up the podium now, if you'd like to come up and speak. We're here to hear you.
Thank you for hearing us this night. I only have questions, and I would like to state my questions at this time. Maybe you could take this later and address them in your closed session.
We'll be happy that you can give it to our assistant clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. My questions are regarding the new encampment that is located on Bridge Street in Hushback. And my first question is, what rights do the homeowners and the residents that pay taxes and vote have, if any?
Could you state your name? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gail Cruz. I live on Attree Court in Bay Village. I am a homeowner. This is my card. Okay, so we're concerned about, some of us are concerned about the property values of our homes and also the safety of the seniors that live adjacent to the new encampment located on Bridge Street in Hushback. I am personally concerned about the integrity of the Sasapuedes Creek, the safety of the water. As you know, it runs into the Pajaro River and from there into the Monterey Bay. And there are communities along the Pajaro River, one where I work extensively, which is Pajaro Dunes. And I am concerned about the integrity of the Sasapuedes Creek, the water, and the communities. I'm actually wondering, since it's says that it is a warming center. How exactly are they warming in the center? I don't see electric cables, I don't see gas lines. I'm wondering if they're using open fires, and if they are, how can we be assured that a fire won't get out of control and endanger our homes and our lives?
Thank you very
That's my
much.
two. Thank you.
Okay. All right, my name is Edita McQuarrie, and I live on 624 Atri Court. I've been there 16 years, and really love the Bay Village. And my concern, of course, is, as Gail just spoke to you about, is the homeless encampment. And I understand that they've hired an attorney, and I'm having difficulty figuring out how they can hire an attorney when most of us don't have the means to hire an attorney. So I'm concerned about that, who's sponsoring that attorney. Also, the safety of the neighborhood and the fouling of the environment. I saw children there a couple of days ago between the ages of 2 and maybe 6 riding tricycles. Children in a homeless camp, that's really concerning. Does Watsonville have to hire an attorney to fight this other attorney that's working for the homeless? Also, just generally in the whole country, homelessness is such a big problem, and it's been sort of pushed under the carpet. I'd like to see our government agencies, city councils, county, state, and federal really work towards helping solve that problem. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Itlali. I live in District 2. I am a community member that has been involved with the folks residing at the warming center. I've been connecting with them, have been reaching out to other local organizations, other community members to really figure out how it is that we can address this issue in a compassionate way, in a way that allows folks who are residing to have dignity, right? We are in a holiday season. A lot of us, everyone here, we have the privilege of living under a roof. We have the privilege of spending the holidays with our loved ones. And the city is going to be at the warming center on the 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, to evict folks, right? The city was not prepared with resources on Sunday, like they said they would. We have a petition here that we were able to gather 65 signatures today. This was put together today. 20-something of them were signed physically. The other 40 were done digitally. And we have about 12 signatures that are coming from District 7 specifically. I believe I shared that with Council Member Estrada and Garcia. Thank you, for taking that. Again, we need more time for us to reach out to other community organizations to figure out how we can approach this in the right way. Folks need long-lasting change. They don't need vouchers for 2 nights. The city has no plan for them after that. We asked several times. The city had no way to tell us what happened after that.
Thank you. And if you want to give everyone the petition. Thank you. Are there any other speakers?
Hello, I wasn't going to say anything, but
Could you go ahead and state your name?
oh yes, it's Shizue Shikuma, and I am a resident of Watsonville, where the homeless center is, or the homeless camp. I think this is a very difficult situation all the way around. I really believe people need to have shelter. I think it's cruel to evict them just before Christmas, but I also understand other people's concerns about health and safety. So I don't really have any answers at this time, but I think there needs to be, as another group was saying, some sort of collaborative effort. Because I've seen what happened in the city of Santa Cruz, and I would hate to see the same type of divisiveness here. So please take seriously what everyone's saying, and know that there is no simple answer to this. But in the end, there needs to be housing for everyone, and there needs to be some compassion. Well, actually, there needs to be a lot of compassion. I don't know, I think that's it.
Thank you very much.
My name is Ellie. I live in District 7. I drive past that lot every single day. The only people that park there are the people that use the levee, and there's also a lot of parking on Grace Street. We need time. The sweep on Sunday was a huge failure on your part, Tamara. WPD showed up with no resources until they were specifically asked for. We had to ask them if they had resources, and then they called someone who showed up an hour later with a table with a couple of papers and a few masks that then WPD tried to retrieve and take away from people as well. Y'all are just blatantly lying, and there's proof of it as well. You posted that for the last week, our city and staff and community partners have been on site every day offering services, including temporary housing. That is simply not true. I have video of WPD showing up and not having any resources multiple times, not having any answers multiple times. So just because you're saying that you're doing it doesn't mean you're actually doing it, right? So this is when we need accountability and transparency, because I can say whatever I want, just like you are clearly doing so. You're lying out of your faces. You say there are serious safety, environmental, and sanitary concerns. How would you know? You haven't been out there once, Tamara. How would you know? It's set up nicely. It's clean. It's impressive. It's keeping people safe. If you displace people, you're creating the safety concern. And it's on you. Because if people were to take the 2-day vouchers for Motel 6, you'd be kicking them out after causing them to lose all of their things, right? 2 days before Christmas into a storm. So that's a situation you're creating. Because otherwise, they'd be safe in what they've already created themselves with no help of y'all at all. Community members have been donating money, supplies, food. Local businesses have made meals. Nothing from the city. Tamara can't say a peep. She can't even look up right now that I'm talking to her. Come on, girlfriend. You're already not qualified for the job. Step up to it.
Thank you very much.
This is shameful.
Thank you very much.
You're shameful.
Thank you very
You're
much.
still shameful.
Yes,
Yes.
and thank you.
Hi, my name is Yesenia. I live in District 7. I guess I'm just asking for like more empathy for the homeless people. Today I was literally shivering as I was walking to my car to come here. And the fact that there's going to be a storm, like other people have mentioned, and like you guys only offer 2-day vouchers. Like winter is not 2 days, it's like months. I heard people say concerns about property values and other things like safety and water health, and I understand that. At the same time, like there's not enough housing in Watsonville, so your property values are not really threatened. They have, obviously from when you guys bought them to now, they cost a lot more. So don't be saying it's about property value. In terms of water health, I work for Watsonville Wetlands Watch. I'm here speaking on myself and not on behalf of them. Let's make that clear. But there's a recent study that showed that E. coli in water systems, when most people have been attributing it to homeless people, are actually due to geese and other animals. Another thing would be safety, and I hear that, but this homeless shelter is being managed by volunteers. In terms of garbage, people are coming and picking it up. Okay, when Wetlands Watch, when we have to work like in the summer when the cops are clearing them out of like different parts of the wetland, there's trash everywhere because there's nobody picking it up. And right here, there's like a controlled way for it to stay and be picked up by volunteers. So it's not costing you guys money. And I just don't think it's okay to put people out before a storm. Like they're gonna freeze to death. San Jose had 5 people freeze to death in the recent storm. So for you guys, is it like, it just hurts for me to think about that you guys would value more people's voices just because they have money to pay for it than for somebody who's gonna freeze to death. So what's uglier, an encampment or dead bodies? That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jinx Dorzett. I've lived here for over 20 years. I have seen the encampment. I am concerned about its proximity to the school there. I'm also concerned about the health and safety that I saw were issues. And I also feel that, yes, it has to be done with some consideration for the fact that I don't understand. I know that we have options like, for instance, the Salvation Army and different church groups and everything else. I don't understand why those resources weren't, I remember last year we had the Veterans Hall was used. So those seem to me considerations that should be made. But I do feel that the encampment does not appear to be recognizing the safety of the community, and I do feel that it needs to be addressed in a civil manner and not calling people out like that. Thank you.
I'm Cheryl, and I live right down the street from the encampment also. And I really feel that the city should step in and help these people. I don't want the people living there because of the fact that we've got children walking there all the time. And I understand they have children in the encampment too, which I hate to see that. I hate to see children out there that could be freezing to death. And I think the city needs to step up and do something to help these people. It's a safety issue, yes. There's other people, there's another guy across the way from these homeless encampment who's having bonfires every night. Sometimes they're getting really wild, and I know the police department's been out that way and the fire department's been out that way, but it's still continuing to go on, and it's been going on for over a month. And I just like to see the city step up and take care of some of these people and keep us safe. Get rid of these fire hazards. So now they have a warming area. How are they keeping warm? I don't want the city having big fires out there either. It's the safety of them and the people around them. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adriana Torres, District 4. And I don't have anything prepared, but we're basically talking about human beings, right? Living outside. I haven't been to the encampment, right? But I know that they're keeping warm. We should all go and visit it together and see how they're doing. The city and nonprofits have money. There's money to help them out. I worked at a nonprofit for a long time, so I know there's money. You know that hotel where we kept a lot of people with COVID? Why can't you rent it out for a couple months? What's wrong with that? Like, this could easily be us there, but we're lucky that you're sitting there and I'm standing here, right? So how? What are you gonna do? You don't want to be Miss Addie Parker, the lady that got, like, people died under her name. Come on, think about it. Work with it. Like, there is money. You have money. Come on, it's there. So help them out. Be gentle with these people. They're not going to come to your home. They're trying just to survive. They're part of our city. They're part of our community. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
May I address that last thing?
No, you already spoke.
We have a line of people right
All
here.
right. There was someone at my house, in my
Yeah.
yard.
Thank you.
Hello, can everyone hear me loud and clear? So I hear people's concerns here.
Could you state your name? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yana Ramirez.
Thank you.
So I am a person who lives in a house. I'm a renter, and I've never been homeless in my life. And considering how easy it is to be homeless, I was a student at UCSC, and I know many students who are on the verge of living in their cars, living in the parks. Honestly, it's much more common than you think. So I want to tell you that I know I've spent the night out there in the camp, in the warming center. I mean, I'm trying to get porta potties, I'm trying to get facilities, things that all you guys have resources for. I'm, along with other people, I'm just a regular community member trying to do this. And people are having concerns about kids seeing this. I mean, that's the least of your concerns. These people die by freezing to death. It's 38 degrees, the refrigerator is 42 degrees, do the math. Go spend the night in a walk-in fridge and see if you want people to stand up for you and try to get you housing. I mean, these people are not to blame for their conditions. And if you believe they are, they still deserve housing. They still deserve a place of warmth You know, they're not lighting fires and bonfires. There is controlled warmth going on. We had the fire department visit, and we follow the regulations, and it is completely safe for that as far as it can be. I mean, between survival and freezing to death, like if the fire department's so concerned, they should come out and help prepare the space and bring fire extinguishers and carbon monoxide detectors and all the things that they're supposed to do to help prevent fires. You know, there's a number of things, and like I told you, like, I don't work in city council, I don't work in any of these areas, but here I am doing it. And I know the rest of you guys can do that too. You can step it up and you can help these people out because they don't want to be on the streets either. Nobody wants to be sleeping in a storm. And seeing what I've seen, meeting the people like that, I mean, they're the same.
Thank you.
You know, it is unconscionable to
Thank
let
you.
this happen.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Sophia. I've worked in Watsonville for over 6 years. So I wanted to give a little bit of context, partly for folks in the audience who I think are looking from the outside and making certain assumptions. So a few weeks ago, or actually on Monday, people were violently displaced from their outdoor homes along the Pajaro River from flooding and also from planned sweeps from Monterey County. And I know it's come up that this is a Monterey County issue because there's been we've been trying to work within the homeless union with the county to get people hotel vouchers, and that was from a magistrate judge part of the requirement as they displace people from the shelters they've set up for themselves. But I think it's disingenuous to say that because, as we know, the counties have been pushing people back and forth across the river and just trying to make it other people's problems. So the vouchers that were offered then were for 4 days in Greenfield or Seaside, an hour away. That's not practical for people who work, have children, have kids, work nights. And to address to the question of shelter beds, there's not enough shelter beds. We've called Salvation Army multiple times, and they're required to keep a certain amount open for referrals from the hospital and HPHP. They also just opened after being closed for a month from a COVID outbreak. So there are folks who are worried about that and don't want to go into this congregate shelter. There are other shelters that require that you leave at 5:30 in the morning. We have an elderly man with us who has experienced that, and it doesn't work for him to wait the 4.5 hours until a day program at Salvation Army opens in the weather, in the cold, with his walker. Having mobility issues, some shelters won't take him.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there you go. Hi, my name is Rita Acosta. I just want to say that 2 days is not good enough for people to go into a motel, lose their property, and then come back out to nothing. And also, they say they give people enough time to be able to go someplace else, but it's very easy to tell people to leave. It's a little bit harder when you tell them to leave with no direction where to go. You know, if you have an organized space for people, it'd be better than having people spread out all over the place. And two, children, there were children there visiting family members from the campsite. There's no children that stay out there. I think they would be someplace else, but out there, there's not children that live in that campsite. And they're heating up rocks, so it's not an ongoing fire. There's rocks that's heating up that campsite. You know, they have more common sense to have fires out there. You know, and two, the city does have money. You guys do have money to put people indoors. You know, they had prompt room key and stuff like that. You guys could do something other than nothing. You guys say they should have been organized. You guys have these jobs that's supposed to be making the right decisions for human beings to live comfortably, warm, and safe. By just telling them to leave is not doing your job by keeping them warm and safe. Housing is very expensive. They want you to make 2 times the amount of the rent. People would be buying homes if they were able to do that. We need more low-income housing, and 2, we need people to really do their jobs and think about everybody else and not just make the right decisions for the city, but also for the people who live here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ricky Carmona. I'm currently staying at the encampment that's been made. And I just wanted to start off by saying that there's no difference between us and you guys. The only difference is that you guys live under a roof and we don't. And the concerns about us being next to a high school, I don't know why you guys think that's a problem, because I understand that you guys look at us as nasty people. who, I don't know what you guys think we're gonna do to the high schoolers, but we honestly are harmless people. We live there, we try to stay warm and tense because everywhere we go, people are gonna be telling us that we need to leave because, you know, we have no roof on our head, so we're gonna be like somewhere outside. And I just don't think it's a problem there. When you say that you saw somebody in your yard, I really, how would you know that it was somebody from our encampment who was in your yard?
It looked like somebody.
Please address the council.
Because it looks like somebody who's
Thank you.
homeless. and
Please
we're
address the
homeless.
council.
Because it looks like somebody who's homeless and we're homeless. That's why. But there's honestly, we're not harming anybody. We're not doing anything. We have a porta potty there now. We warm it up charcoal since somebody asked how. And that's how we're just trying to survive. And you guys can help us, but you guys don't want to, so we're gonna try to do it on our own.
Thank you. State your name.
Kirby Harris, I live in District 7. I empathize with the folks. But the thing is, where they have decided that they would like to have their warming station is dangerous for them. It's cold, it's wet, there's no sanitation, there's the traffic there where the people come off Riverside from both directions, whip around that corner, and yesterday I saw one of your folks almost get hit. I want to know what exactly that they want. I mean,
Safety.
I'm speaking.
Thank you for letting them, thank you.
I know the city's doing as much as they can to help these folks. I do like the idea of maybe the parking lot at the old Red Roof Inn for, you know, some period of time. That's the other question we have. And, but where it is now, it's not good for them, and it's not good for the public. And that's my.
Hello, my name is Rooney. I'd first like to respond to that last comment, and then I have a letter from our doctor. So the reason that we're there, of course, is not an ideal spot. We have been pushed around from side of the river to side of the river, from storefront to street, all over the place. We're picking a public place because under Martin v. Boise, it is illegal for the city or the county to evict anyone who is on a public property unless they provide adequate shelter, which they have not. The letter from our doctor, Jason Johnston. To whom it may concern, this letter is in regards to safeguarding the health of the residents of the Watsonville Bridge Street encampment. I have the pleasure of providing medical care to these individuals as a primary care provider and physician assistant with the Santa Cruz County Health Services Agency, both at Watsonville Health Center and the Homeless Persons Health Project. This communication is in my capacity as a health professional and primary care provider regarding the health of my patients. As the healthcare provider for these individuals, I am writing to formally request the public agencies and legal authorities involved in decision-making regarding the encampment honor my patients' right to health and safety. A closure of the encampment would endanger the health of my patients in multiple respects, and the necessary measures to mitigate this harm are not in place. I write as a medical expert in the provision of primary care, addiction, and behavioral health services. I provide these services as part of a continuum of care within the Santa Cruz County Health and Human Services agencies that has successfully transitioned many Watsonville unsheltered residents into housing, and which represents an evidence-based solution for helping homeless residents. In the process, these services every day save lives from addiction and overdose and provide critical care to support medical and behavioral health. A primary obstacle faced in the provision of this care and moving homeless residents. Can I finish the letter?
Hi, my name is Eric Sellis. I'm a local business owner and elementary school teacher. I'm just going to continue the letter that Rooney had read earlier from Jason Johnston, the physician assistant with the Santa Cruz County Health Services Agency. A primary obstacle faced in the provision of this care and moving homeless residents into housing are the attempts at dispersing unhoused Watsonville residents by city and law enforcement. Due to aggressive measures like the attempts to close the Bridge Street encampment, my patients are forced into hiding from these public agencies in order to find the basic shelter they need to survive. The Bridge Street encampment residents are largely without private vehicles, telephones, or other means of accessing health care. Closure of the Bridge Street encampment in the context of a lack of local shelter beds and access to housing forces them to reside in small, dispersed sites hiding from the City of Watsonville and law enforcement, which is an insurmountable barrier to access to medical, addiction, behavioral health, and housing services I provide. My patients' lives are in jeopardy if this is allowed to proceed. I ask relevant public agencies and legal authorities involved provide for my patients' right to health and safety as they would any other residents of our community. Respectfully, Jason Johnson.
Hello, my name is Nicola Moore, and the thing that I want to get across today is that the reason for the warming shelter or warming center is it's a response to an emergency situation. These people were evicted off of the river, and they weren't provided adequate resources to survive. You know, that's what it comes down to. And so this shelter was put together by by residents and by community members, to protect human beings. Like with the fires and stuff recently, like people were given more resources than these people. I want to just show you, give you a list of some options, of things that y'all could do to support. You could reopen the Footbridges Warming Center at the United Presbyterian Church. You could work with the Monterey County to facilitate long-term hotel vouchers so that people have the stability to be near work, doctors, and families. And you can extend the vouchers through the winter so that people can remain safe from weather and from the new COVID variants and surges. Another thing you could do is allow the FEMA trailers in Pinto Lake Park be used immediately for displaced houseless people, regardless of age. These are currently empty and they're going to waste. It's a shame to see that, really. You could identify a sanctioned site for people to camp, just as the city of Santa Cruz has done and numerous other cities have done. People will continue to exist even without affordable housing or adequate and safe shelters and should not be criminalized. They need stability, and this is why there is an emergency response.
Thank you very much.
Good night, my name is Ashley, and I just come to say that enough is enough. It's embarrassing to say, but out of all of you guys up here, I have never seen somebody go in out there and go talk to these folks out there. They are not dangerous like a lot of them have been saying. These people have been pushed around, and you guys have become the pushing factor of why they have been displaced. These people need a residency in order for them to have a stable, in order for them to have a job, in order for them to start a life. It's sad to see that this is a product of you guys, to see that criminalization pipeline is because of you guys. You guys criminalize them for irrelevant stuff and end up just dropping them off where? In rivers and levees? For what? You guys don't give them no stable place. I come to see that you guys have funds, but where is it at? In your pockets? It needs it out there to the community. It doesn't need it in here. People out there are suffering. Kids out there are suffering. And what do they become? They become those criminals that you guys say, but for what? For what? It's no reason why you guys should stay pocketing that money into a city to, yeah, I get it, to beautify it, but you guys need to go out there and help out those people that really need it. It's an ongoing thing, and it's an ongoing situation. It's year after year that this has been going. It's been going over decades, and nothing has been happening. And these people have come together and have raised awareness that you guys should have done in the first place, not them. But because they need you guys, they need protection. They need protection from the whole community. They should not be displaced. They should not be out there in the cold suffering, having their family members go out there and visit them, having to be at risk of everything. I just come to say that it's embarrassing, and I just want to stand up for my community as well as everybody else out here wants to do that.
And well, it's time for you guys to speak up and raise your guys' voices, get that stuff out there. I don't understand why you guys haven't done that. And it would be nice if you guys go out there and see what's really going on and what these people have been doing without your guys' help. And now they do need your help. We need your protection, we need the safety, we need all the stuff that needs to be out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my name is Itzel, and I live near the warming center, and all I have to say is that I support it, and the council should do a better job at doing their jobs, and that is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I am in support of the warming center. There's my tally, but it's so much more than that. I mean, I wish I could give, you know, I wish I could, I wish I could give you guys a piece of empathy, but since that is not possible, I don't know. You know, figure it out yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Wes White, Salinas, Monterey County Homeless Union. I guess we helped make this year a problem, but at the same time, it's, I mean, I actually recognize a lot of your folks' names and you know, and I videoed quite a bit. Through the years, you know, I've known a lot of the folks at the encampment, Pajaro River, homeless community, refugees at this point, you know, for at least a year. You know, from all these sweeps, and it's affordable housing is what it is, and what you're seeing in the warming center, having just even the littlest, tiniest bit of shelter with a roof over your head, you know, keeps in the warmth. You got blankets, they have hot rocks. You know, we're trying to do things in an industrial fashion, you know, that can be scalable and work throughout the entire city, because you need policies that are actually going to take care of people. You need to worry about the people before you worry about the money, because otherwise you're in the wrong business. And actually, this is a continuum of care issue, this is a county issue, this is a state issue, this is a federal issue. So kick the ball up the road. But the way that you're going to deal with people cannot be dismissive. It has to be compassionate, and it has to be for the duration of the continuum of care to do its work that it says it's going to do. But obviously, and I'll give you a link for yesterday's encounter, and the city was woefully ill-prepared, and it did not want to prepare. And it lied. It made bold-faced lies. It made statements that were not true. They said they'd have vouchers available, a table set up, and over an hour. You've heard this before. And it's just, it's disappointing. We need to do things better. This is why I'm chasing it around. I mean, you know, we're 10 states now. We have a National Union of the Homeless. That's how we have an attorney who works pro bono. So, you know, we're trying to, this is a civil rights issue. I mean, anything that you want to worry about with Cesar Chavez, and, you know, any civil rights issue, I can tell you any demographic, and I'll find a homeless of that. Stop the sweeps.
Thank you. Now we'll be moving into closed session. And I don't know how long that'll take, but there will be a report out of closed session when we conclude. Thank you all for coming, and we appreciate your comments.
What is interested in what you said, because you said that you are coming, your house, but you're coming to help, and you've seen it firsthand and everything. So,
Rooney Ferris, R-O.
Iana Ramirez, E-A-N.
Ashley Pavon, A-S-A. Sophie Bassett, S-O-P.
So, you're a resident of the encampment, correct?
No, I'm a community member.
Okay, can you tell me what your stance is on this and what the goal is tonight for you?
To me, the goal is to make the city council realize that what they have offered to the camp so far is not adequate at all, and that they need to accept that we are here as a survival shelter and that we need more resources.
And then can you talk about your stance on it? And you had mentioned that you are housed, but you come out there and you see firsthand what's happening, you're helping them, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you go out there and you see the conditions people are living in the rain, I mean, you yourself too will probably want to help them out. Just knowing human beings are living like that. You got dogs and cats on the street, they get shelters right away, so why can't human beings be as well?
Do you guys want to say? Make a statement?
Yeah, I'm a resident of Watsonville and I live close by. And I just want to say that there's no support for these people out there, for the displaced people. All I see is police officers come by and just drop them off, not give them any resources at all. So it's like, why are they there? They're unprotected. They have nothing other than the people that are racing together awareness, and that's what we have. We have this whole community, and they've come together to bring this shelter in for the people that really need it.
I just wanted to add too that I think people are sort of offended by the sight of it sort of suddenly popping up, but these people have been a part of the community for years and decades. They've just been hidden, and they've been hidden closer to the river or other spots, and so now people are aware and offended, but it doesn't change the fact that these are fellow humans who need resources, need long-term. They're setting up long-term spots for themselves because the city, the state is failing them. And so that's really what they're looking for, is long-term permanent housing options. And there's plenty of funding for it, as we've seen. So it just needs to happen.
Okay. A report on closed session from our incoming city attorney, Samantha Zettler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Closed session was held on the item on the agenda. Direction was given to staff and no action was taken.
Okay, any emergency items added to the agenda? Okay, then this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.